Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Counter-Strike Global Offensive community market, a lot of questions are had and a lot of questions are to be shared throughout this video on said CSGO items. And while the items I am talking about are a few different ones to be exact, most of them are being the regular cases inside of CSGO and some of the off-name cases we haven't really talked about on this channel for the past couple of months that have gone up quite a bit in the past couple of weeks due to a few different reasons. One, a lot of people are just coming into the game, buying them to open them, also to invest, but also due to a lot of market manipulation. And with said market manipulation, people are wondering if it's a bad time to buy some of those right now, or if this price is normal or it's not normal, to know for your own sake. And if you should buy things like the Rocks Hollow right now, if that's a good idea for you for the future. Will it turn out to be good? We don't really know. We'll discuss that in today's video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and of course subscribe for weekly CSGO content like this and many others like Man on Monday and CSGO News. And before we hop into the market update and of course overview, here's a quick word from our video sponsor, SkinsMonkey. Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly, has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in-game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade. So a lot of things have changed in the CSGO market this past week. That being, of course, things like the revolver case have gone up a little bit in price, which I've seen a little bit blown out of the water, in my personal opinion, when I'm searching up CSGO videos for YouTube, especially the investing side of things. The revolver case was said to gone up like 50%, but it's only gone up, I would say, about 10 cents in this past week. And it's also a little bit inflated, just like a lot of these prices right now. Now, for the most part, a lot of these items specifically, I personally would not buy into. In an investment, like an investment says, with anything else, it's usually for the long term of things. People have to stop going for the quick profit and quick flips on items. It's just not really possible in CS anymore, even with a large amount of money put into, some of the higher tier cases, for an example. You're mostly going to be playing the long-term game of at least a year in CSGO nowadays, and that's just something I feel like I have to put out there. So just checking out the market itself before we go in depth into any individual cases. Things are looking okay. Things are pretty high up in price. Obviously, some of the main cases we're going to be talking about today are, of course, the fracture case, revolver case, and just some cases here and there. So the first item I want to start out with is, of course, the revolver case. Now, this has gone up about 7 cents this past week, and on September 4th, it was 39 cents to give you guys an example. Now, right now, it is 46 cents, and this has been spiked up for a lot of different reasons. I would say, for the most part, a lot of people bought this at a decently higher price, and this is what you can see on the Steam market. People are buying this at a higher price, and I think this really all stemmed really from just people are opening this like crazy because it has obviously the older knives in it, and the skins don't really matter in this case. This is just an instance where the golds really only matter for people opening this case, and that's obviously been very proven this past year. And this price right now, people are asking if it's inflated. I would say no, but you also have the argument that everything in CSGO right now is inflated from where everything was about a year ago. CSGO prices are growing just more and more throughout the year. I mean, once again, today we have hit, once again, over 1 million players, which is just kind of crazy to think about. So if you really think we're going to lose 200,000 or 300,000 players in the next month or two, then maybe not invest. But for the most part, I don't really see that player base going away, especially if we have an Operation or Source 2 coming very soon. These are really only going to go up from here, and that's the way you have to think about it. And that's kind of the last part I'm going to say about investing into things right now or for the long term or whatever. You have to be holding for the long term. So if things go down and CSGO's in a downward spiral for a year where cases are down, knives are down or whatever, you're going to be in a little hole. And you can't really get out of that unless you obviously take a huge loss. There's not a point of that. Now, do I think things like this, for an example, are going to go to 25 cents? No. I think they're going to stay at probably the 35, 40 cent range. They're not really going to go down too much. But it's just something to keep in mind, and that can happen. And once you're into CSGO investing, you have to kind of stay in, if that makes any sense. Because once you cash out as well for real life cash, you're going to be losing about 25-30% at the end of the day with all fees set aside. And of course, the next case up is the Broken Fang case. Now, this has been talked about recently, which I also will touch on Mando Monday, but this has been discussed as a case where it's slowly but surely gone up over time and no one's talking about it. It's not that no one's talking about this case, it's just that everyone kind of knows that operation cases, even if they're garbage, like the Riptide, for an example, in my personal opinion, is a garbage case. Why would you open the Riptide case at this point in time for a $2 price point when really the only thing exclusive in it is that Desert Eagle? No one cares about the AK Elite Museo. The same knives are in the Dreams and Nightmares for literally $1.50 off of what you're opening the Riptide case for. So really all you're opening that case for is the Desert Eagle, but I mean, that's just my personal opinion. The Broken Fang case has the Prince Stream, has some good other skins in it, but for the most part, you're opening this for the gloves and also just mainly the Prince Stream, if that makes any sense. And this is only going to go up from here. Sure, we're going to see some downward spirals once again throughout the year, most likely where it goes to, you know, $1.60, $1.70. But I think this thing could go to $5 or $6 one day. Eventually, it will happen just like any operation case because obviously they're never coming out again and they're very exclusive. The next thing I want to discuss has been discussed on my YouTube comments is, of course, the Fracture case. This being 19 cents right now, this has gone up like really crazy. I've seen this on YouTube quite a bit this past week. So this was at a 13-cent dip this past little while in August. Now we're seeing it at 19 cents. The reason this has been hyped up and also bought so much, I think, is because of the knives in it. And also, it seems to be that streamers are buying it a lot right now as well. This was also one of the cases Trilix talked about in one of his videos, and 4,000 and 7,000 of them were sold at 21 cents in the Steam market. And as you can see it coming down, they're being sold at 5,100 quantity for 18 cents. So people are willing to pay this price for this. And I think what happened here is someone came in and bought a very large amount, as you can see at, 16, 17 cents, 20 cents, for an example. And people are just buying a lot of them. And then I think we kind of started running out of supply for a little bit. So people had to get them out of their storage units, list them on the Steam market for the prices to start going back down. And I think this was due to probably a little bit of investors and, of course, mass unboxers. But that's just my personal opinion. Should you buy into this right now? Probably not. And really, for any case and anything we're discussing on today's video, I would try and buy it on a third-party website if that's what you're kind of going with inside of CSGO. Buying off the Steam market is great, especially if you made profits or if you buy something off of a third-party website and you sell it on the Steam market to make some profit and also get some free money to put into cases. That's a great way of doing it. But for the most part, if you're going in for the long term and you're not pulling out of CSGO anytime soon, definitely just buy off a third-party website like some of these cases. The Breakout case is a great example. You can literally find it for almost $2 off depending on the website you go to and the person that's selling you them, to be exact. The Fracture case right now, though, is a little bit inflated, but once again, that's an argument for every item. But I mean, you can literally just look at the graph. It was 13 cents a week ago. It's starting to go back down. I would have to guess this might go to 15 cents, by the end of the next couple of days. After this mini hype has kind of disappeared, after it stopped trending on the Steam market, or at least the first Steam page, I think we could see a downwards trend to maybe 15, 14 cents once again, but only time will tell. I would maybe hold off on this to see where it goes the next couple of days. Of course, questions like the Rocks Hollow. Should you buy some of these right now? Obviously, a lot of these stickers have been hyped up this past week. One, because Rocks has been benched. Stewie 2K retired, for an example. People wondered if you should buy the Stewie 2K sticker. Absolutely not. I mean, as you guys can see, the Stewie 2K price trend, it has gone down. I mean, people were hyping this up for the first 24 to 48 hours, just like any other player. And once again, it's just down. No one really cares at the end of the day. The same thing happened with Shroud back in the day, which is an example I used when Rocks got benched to not invest in the Rocks, because the Rocks Hollow was $70 like a week and a half ago. Now it's back down to $45, and people are wondering if they should sell because they've unboxed or whatever. I personally would just hold on to your Rocks Hollows for now. Antwerp right now is the lowest we've ever seen it, and probably will see it for the upcoming future. So I think it's just best to hold on to them. I think right now selling at 45 bucks, you're selling extremely low. I sold mine, for an example, at 70 on the Steam market a little while ago when I had that opportunity to, when I quick unboxed it when the major was on. But selling these, not a good idea. Picking some up, that gives you an opportunity, but just know you're in a little bit of a risky territory in a 50-50 flip if the next major stickers are anything similar, or really anyone just kind of forgets about Antwerp and doesn't really like them anymore, which I don't really see that happening because Antwerp are transparent, and the rumors right now, it's not going to be transparent anymore for the next upcoming majors, so that could be really good for Antwerp investments, of course, but that's only rumors right now. Things like the Mouse Hollow, do not sell. There's not really a point. Once again, it's the same thing as Antwerp, and some of these other things in the Steam market, it's a good opportunity to pick them up, but not sell. They're a decently good looking sticker as well as they are really rare. So eventually they will go up. It's just a matter of when and how. So, you know, that could be a year or two, but I think eventually these will go back up to where they were before at $15 or $16 on the Steam market in the next couple of years. So overall, a lot of these cases, it really just comes down, and same with stickers, to the individual item. I think Antwerp and Stockholm are two decent pickups for right now if you want to go into something and hold them for the long term. And like everything else in this video, especially with cases, you have to be going in with a mindset where you're not going to be cashing out for cash. So if you're putting in $1,000 and you might need that money at the end of the month, only put in maybe $400 or $500 so you don't have to pull out any of that, you know, in 3 or 4 months time, because you'll need the money, because you'll end up losing 20 or 30% on fees alone, depending on where you sell, really just anywhere in general. And if you're buying cases for the long term as well, buy them on third-party websites unless you're buying something on BitSkins or CS Deals or Buff or Skinport, for an example, and flipping it on the Steam market for more of a Steam balance. That way you can go into more cases, save yourself some money. For example, the Breakout case, I picked up some recently, but I did not pay market price for them. I almost paid close to $3 for them on CS Deals and BitSkins. It's just something you can snipe throughout the day. And the reason I'm not really talking too much about Buff is because, well, Buff is a pain to get a balance on there, even if you can find someone. Like, I have a guy that I can get balance on there, but at the end of the day, it's still a pain in my ass. But it is cheaper, of course. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys picking up anything right now? Is this an opportunity for you? Are you more of just kind of chilling right now on the market with your investments throughout the year? Are you selling? I personally, right now, if you want to sell, it's not the worst opportunity to on some of these individual cases and items, because you have to look at it this way too. Things are eventually inevitably going to crash. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.